Jesus is condemned to death. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. There you stand, before the crowd, after being beaten. You never deny yourself, yet humbly accept the punishment given to you by those who have witnessed your miracles. It's easy to look at this scene now and think, how could they have accused you and condemned you to death? All you did was love every person you met. Yet they are not alone in their condemnation of you. We are just as guilty of Jesus' death as the Jews were 2,000 years ago.
How often do I ignore you at school, in the person no one wants to talk to? How often do my words condemn you in the way I speak about others? It was not only the Jews and Pontius Pilate who condemned you, but I stand next to them, shouting just as loud, "Crucify him." Jesus, forgive me for the ways which I condemn you and pierce others with my words and actions. Help me love like you and to learn from your example.
The second station, Jesus carries the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. By now you have endured a sleepless night, betrayed by your friends, and a beating that is too horrible to fully imagine. You've been whipped, stripped, and spit on by countless faces, some of whom last week treated you as royalty as you entered the city. And now they hand you a cross to carry. The weight of it is far more than any number of pounds we can figure. For in carrying the cross, you carry the weight of our sins. Jesus, your cross is so much heavier than ours, yet without your strength helping us, we would not be able to lift our crosses.
How often do I forget that you carry the load for me? How often do I try to carry things on my own, not allowing you to help me? It was not only the sins of the world that you carried, it was my sin, my selfishness, my pride, my anger. Each added more to the load, and it was not only my sin you carried, but also my burdens, my worries, my fears, my sadness, my insecurities. Each you carried step by step towards Golgotha, the place of the skull. Jesus, help me not to forget the load you carry for me. Give me your strength and the courage to let go of the things that separate me from you.
third station, Jesus falls for the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. As you walk through the narrow streets, every movement, every jolt burns and reopens your wounds. The pain, along with the weight of the cross, becomes too much and you fall. In boxing, when a fighter falls and is too beaten to continue, the fight is stopped by the referee. Yet there is no one there to stop the battle that you fight for us. Even though you know what still lies ahead, you do not stop and somehow find the strength to continue.
How many times have I fallen in my walk? Too many to count, I'm sure. So many times when I fall, I don't feel like getting back up and try again. There are too many temptations that I am faced with that feel too fun and easy because so many people around me are doing them. Jesus, help me to remember your courage and perseverance even when you fell. Give me the courage to get back up when I fall. Help me remember that it is worth it to live as you lived.
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Amid all the shouts and jeers from the crowd that move like a wave in your mind as you struggle to remain conscious, one voice stands out. At first, it is so faint that you wonder if it is real. But then, as your eyes meet and you see her face, you are not surprised that she is there for you. She has always been there for you. Her yes to the Father has been a light in the darkness. And now, here in your darkest hour, she is there.
There are so many times when I feel alone in my struggles. It seems that no one understands what I am going through, especially my parents. But I realize they must. How many times have I given things for my parents out of fear of what they would say or what trouble I would be in when all they want is to love me? Jesus, help me to remember that I'm never alone in my struggles. Help me to see my parents as you saw I was. Help me to know their love for me, and when things are hard between us, help me to remember the light of your mother in my life.
Fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. soldiers who had beaten you all day had what appears to be a moment of compassion. Yet instead, their selfish motives override their opportunity for charity. They only want to follow their orders to get you up to the place where you will be crucified. How beaten you look that they decide to grab Simon, a Cyrene, out of the crowd to help you carry the cross. He follows behind you, walking in your steps, helping you move forward. You press on, knowing that the worst is yet to come.
How often do I pass an opportunity to help someone in need? Do I let what others may think of me stop me from reaching out? How often have I laughed at someone who is willing to help others, someone who is being extra nice or compassionate to someone? Jesus, open my ears to hear the ways you call me to serve. Help me follow Simon's example of helping others. Help me to know what it means to be a true and faithful servant.
The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. By now, the thorns cut so deeply into your head that even seeing where you should step next is almost impossible. Up to this point, all that approach you, other than your mother, either shout at you or spit in your face. As Veronica approaches, she walks differently than the others. As she reaches out her hands and wipes your face with the cloth, suddenly her face of compassion becomes clear. No words are necessary. Both your eyes say it all. For in that moment, your dignity as a man is restored.
How many times have I forgotten that each person is made in your image